This is the second presentation for simplifying expressions. We're going to talk about the distributive property and simplifying expressions in general. So let's begin by talking about the distributive property. The distributive property says that multiplication distributes over addition and subtraction. So what this means is that we want to multiply everything inside the parentheses, each term, by what is outside the parentheses. If we look at this, we have a times b plus c. To get rid of the parentheses, we're going to multiply a times b to get us ab. We are going to multiply a times c to give us ac. Similarly, for subtraction, we multiply a times b and we multiply a times c, and we keep the subtraction sign. So let's go ahead and practice this a little bit more. Alright, for the first set of examples, the first thing I want to ask you is, do these count as a distribution? And the answer is no. Notice that inside the parentheses, we have just one term. There is no addition or subtraction. So when we do this, we're just going to go ahead and multiply the numbers together and then keep the variable. So if we look at 7 times 4c, 7 times 4 is 28. We keep the c. For example B, we have negative 3 times 5y cubed. Similarly with this one, we're going to multiply our numbers. Negative 3 times 5 is negative 15. We keep the variable. We keep the exponent. Let's look at a couple more. If we have 20 times negative 2a, again, if I multiply my numbers, 20 times negative 2 is negative 40. We keep our variable. And for the last one, D, negative 10 times minus x, remember that this minus x is technically negative 1x. And so if we multiply negative 10 times negative 1, we get positive 10. We keep our variable. Okay, so then let's look at some problems that actually do involve distribution. If we come to example E, we have 7 times a plus 10. In order to do this, I'm going to distribute. Notice this time we do have a plus inside our parentheses. And so this is going to be a distribution. So in order to do this, we are going to multiply 7 times a, which is 7a, and 7 times 10 gives me plus 70. All right, a couple more examples. If we look at example F, if we distribute, we get 3 times x is 3x. 3 times minus 3 is minus 9. All right, a couple other ones. Let's look at G. G, we have 4 times 2y. I'm going to multiply my numbers. We get 8. We keep the y. 4 times 6 is plus 24. For example H, we have negative 5 times 3b plus 2. Same thing, we're going to distribute. Negative 5 times 3b is minus 15b, and negative 5 times positive 2 is negative 10. Last example, we have negative 8 times c plus 4. If we distribute, we get negative 8 times c is negative 8c. and negative 8 times 4 is minus 32. So there are some examples of multiplying and distributing. So now let's bring it together and talk about simplifying expressions in general. Our procedure to simplify expressions with more than one step, the first thing we want to do is we want to distribute to clear the parentheses. From there, we're going to combine our like terms. So let's look at some examples. Example A, we have negative 4 plus 5 times y plus 1. So the first thing I want to do is distribute to clear my parentheses. So what are we going to distribute? We are going to distribute just the 5. That is what is being multiplied. And so if we distribute, I'm going to bring down my minus 4, distribute my 5. We get 5 times y is 5y. And 5 times 1 is plus 5. I can now go ahead and combine my like terms. My negative 4 can combine with my 5, giving me 1. We have different signs, so we're going to subtract and keep the sign of the larger number. And then we have our 5y has nothing to combine with, so I'm going to go ahead and just bring it down. So our final answer is 1 plus 5y. Let's try a couple more. 2 times 3x plus 4 minus 5. So we start by distributing. I get 2 times 3x is 6x. 2 times 4 is plus 8. And I bring down my minus 5. We can combine like terms. I can combine my constant terms, my 8 and my negative 5. I'm going to bring down my 6x, and 8 minus 5 is plus 3. All right, let's try example C. Example C, we have 5 times 6x minus 2 plus 3x. So we start by distributing. If we distribute, we get 5 times 6x is 30x. 5 times negative 2 is minus 10. Plus, we bring down our 3x. I can go ahead and combine my like terms. My 30x and my 3x combine to give me 33x. We bring down our minus 10, and we're done. All right, last one. D, we have negative y plus 3 times 2y plus 5 minus 18. So we want to start by distributing. I want to distribute the 3. I'm going to bring down my minus y. If I distribute my 3, I get 3 times 2y is 6y. I distribute to my 5. 3 times 5 is 15. And we bring down our minus 18. I can now combine my like terms. We get negative y and 6y combined to give us 5y. And we can combine 15 and negative 18. These have different signs, so I'm going to subtract and keep the sign of the larger number. We get minus 3. All right, so that takes care of simplifying expressions.